This is Adolf Hitler, infamous leader of the German Nazis, and a figure who left a dark legacy in history. In 1937, he made a significant and troubling impact on the automotive industry. Let's uncover the unsettling history of the car brand Volkswagen. Hitler spent his early years in Linz, Upper Austria's capital. After his father's retirement from a state customs officer role, Hitler struggled academically and dropped out of high school, resisting a career in public service like his father. After being rejected by Vienna's Academy of Fine Arts, he continued to pursue art, especially after his father's death in 1903. By 1908, following his mother's passing, Hitler moved to Vienna, surviving by selling paintings of landscapes and buildings. It was during this period that his political ideologies began to take shape. Later, he relocated to Munich and, during World War I, convinced the Bavarian king to allow him to serve in a reserve infantry unit. He earned 2 bravery awards, which he cherished until his death. By 1921, Hitler had taken control of the growing Nazi Party, exploiting dissatisfaction with the Weimar Republic and the harsh Versailles Treaty terms. Despite never winning more than 37% of the vote, Hitler became Chancellor of Germany in 1933, eventually securing absolute power. With his political ambitions solidified, he turned to creating an automobile company. In the 1930s, German car manufacturers focused on luxury vehicles, leaving most Germans without cars. Responding to this, Hitler initiated a project that led to the formation of Volkswagen. The Nazi-controlled German government founded a state-run car company named Gesellschaft zur Vorbereitung des Deutschen Volkswagens mbH, later renamed Volkswagen Werk, meaning the People's Car Company. The original owners were the Nazi-affiliated German Labor Front, and the company was headquartered in Wolfsburg, Germany. Hitler's vision was a cheap, fast car, affordable at less than 1,000 Reichsmarks, around $140 then. He also dreamed of building a network of autobahns across Germany, but from its inception to its current status as a global automotive giant, Volkswagen has been steeped in controversy. If Hitler had foreseen the outcome, he might have abandoned the project altogether. He commissioned Ferdinand Porsche, an Austrian-German automotive expert, to design the car. During a Nazi rally, Hitler declared that the car was meant for the masses, fulfilling their mobility needs and bringing them joy. He envisioned a system where people could buy the car by making monthly savings contributions. The car, designed to carry 2 adults and 3 children at 100 kilometers per h, was priced at 990 Reichsmarks, equivalent to $5,000. $6,000 today, similar to a small motorcycle. However, when World War II broke out in 1939, Volkswagen ceased civilian car production to focus on military vehicles. Porsche shifted to developing military vehicles like the Volkswagen Kübelwagen, used by the Wehrmacht and Waffen-SS. After the war, the Allies aimed to rebuild Germany's auto industry around Volkswagen, despite the company's Nazi ties. Initially, Volkswagen sales in the U.S. were slow due to its controversial history, compact size, and unique design. Volkswagen continued producing cars for top Nazi leaders during the war, but faced significant challenges due to the factory's civilian focus. Forced labor became essential to keep the factory running. Volkswagen was among the first to use forced labor from Soviet captives, alongside German employees and migrant workers. The company also employed prisoners of war and concentration camp inmates. By May 1944, forced labor made up 60% of Volkswagen's workforce. The company actively recruited forced labor from concentration camps, including Auschwitz, selecting skilled metal workers from among Jewish prisoners. There were 4 concentration camps and 8 forced labor camps at the Volkswagen plant. The workforce included more than 4,800 Eastern European workers, many of whom were forcibly relocated. The workers lived and worked under harsh conditions, similar to prisoners of war. During the war, over 15,000 concentration camp prisoners worked for Volkswagen. The company even built a concentration camp near its facility to detain skilled prisoners. One of the most horrific practices was the treatment of children born to Eastern laborers. Initially, pregnant workers were sent back to their home countries, but as the war progressed, they were kept in Germany. Volkswagen established nurseries for children of forced laborers, but these were fronts to ensure mothers could return to work quickly. The death rate in these nurseries was extremely high due to malnutrition and neglect. Dr. Hans Korbel, head of Volkswagen's medical facilities, oversaw these nurseries. Children were later moved to a facility in Ruhen, where the mortality rate was near 100%. In 1947, Dr. Korbel was executed for his role in the deaths of these children. As the Allies approached, some prisoners escaped, plundering the town and overpowering the factory staff. Major Ivan Hurst, a British Army officer, took control of the Volkswagen plant after the war. The plant had been heavily bombed, halting production of military vehicles. With the end of the war, Volkswagen's dark chapter closed, and the company began its rise as a major car manufacturer. When the Allies arrived, they found around 50 completed Kübelwagens at the bombed plant. The British resumed production of the Volkswagen Type 1 Beetle, supporting post-war German society. Over the years, Volkswagen became the top-selling imported car in the US, surpassing Ford's Model T's production record with the Beetle. In 1960, Volkswagen was privatized, with the German government selling 60% of its shares to the public. Today, whether you love or loathe Volkswagen, it remains a significant player in the automotive industry. Despite its origins, the company has evolved, now producing electric vehicles used worldwide.